Okay, today's video we're going to talk about Reddit ads and how you can make a bunch of money running a new type of campaign and targeting that'll get you in front of people who actually want to buy your product or service, not just interrupting them while they're on Reddit and hoping that they buy, which is what basically you could only do before on Reddit up until now. You can get in front of people who are looking to buy actively through something called contextual keyword targeting. At the time of making this video, at least, it's still in beta. You got to ask your account rep or the customer service or if they will turn that feature on for your account. But once it's on, you can make some real money here. I'm going to give you what the exact method is here to use contextual keyword targeting for your business to make all that money. And I'm going to give you some examples of how I did it for a company already that my agency manages their campaigns for a mailbox company that prevents, a package mailbox that prevents package theft. So with that said, I'll go ahead and get right into the content so you have everything by the end of the video that you need to make similar kinds of money for your business running ads on Reddit. Reddit ads has always kind of sucked as the targeting isn't that exact at the end of the day. Which is, by the way, the issue with other small ad platforms like Taboola, other no-name ones that you probably haven't heard of. The reason why Facebook and Google, and if you want to add in there Microsoft and LinkedIn to the mix, maybe even Twitter, the reason why they're sucking up so much budget from the offline world and the amount of money that people are investing in those platforms to advertise is because they got the power of big data. And of course that ties into the networking effect, but the big data that they have is what has pushed their company valuations up to what they have. At least for, Microsoft ads, LinkedIn ads, Microsoft being Bing, Facebook and Google. They understand more about yourself than they understand that you know about yourself, essentially, or just as you know yourself just as well as they know you. And so they can actually predict who's going to be buying what, and then they sell those predictions on to the advertiser on those platforms to be able to get those sales. Essentially, that's essentially what they offer and why everybody wants to feverishly advertise on these platforms. Well, on the smaller ad networks, they don't have that because they don't have access to quite as much data. People don't spend as much time on those platforms, and therefore they just have less data to predict who's buying what, so they can sell those predictions onto people that want to sell to their users. Reddit was the same way. And furthermore, with online advertising, regardless of where you're doing it, the hardest thing to do and why most people aren't successful, other than having products that are crappy, that aren't in demand, or services that aren't in demand that they're trying to offer, is they target too broadly. If you could find the 1,000 people that would, if they see your product or service, they would want to buy it, you're going to make money every time, no matter where that is on the internet. The trick is finding out how to classify who those 1,000 people are. How do you narrow them down? And on Reddit, even if you do know that your average customer's 20 to 30 years old, makes at least $65,000 a year to $100,000 a year, likes fishing, has checked out one of my competitors' products in the last 30 days, and if they have all those traits, they're very likely to buy. Even though you know all that, you could use it on Google to be able to get you customers, and on Facebook. On Reddit, even though you have all that data, you're not going to be able to use it to get customers there because the targeting's too unsophisticated, which is why I normally just wouldn't use it. And other platforms like Quora and Taboola, like I said, and for the most part, it can work if you have a really hot selling product or service, but it's certainly down the list of places you want to advertise because you can get more precise targeting on Google, Facebook, and so forth. Makes it easier to find that 1,000 people who ultimately would buy if you could just get your ad in front of them, so you don't have to pay to advertise to everybody else. Most people think that if they put an ad out there, people who want it will click, the people who don't want it will not click. The reality is, showing your ad to somebody who doesn't give a shit about your offer is going to cost you money. They call it pay-per-click advertising, but the lower the rate in which people click, the higher your cost per click to your site is going to be. So if you narrow down your advertising to just the people who care about it, then essentially you're paying a very, very low cost to get a visitor to your site. Cheap enough, it then becomes cheap enough that you can make money after all your expenses and only pay, 10% of the cost of what you're selling into advertising, and therefore it's profitable to you at the end of the day. So with Reddit, you didn't have the targeting capabilities to really narrow down your advertising, so you're not paying for a bunch of waste circulation, as they call it, getting your ad in front of people who don't care about what you have, and therefore making your ads not profitable. You used to only be able to target certain communities on Reddit. Like there's certain communities, like they have a PPC community, they have a movie watchers community, and you would just have to target one of those communities with your ads, which is not very targeted at all for most people. Now, today, they have contextual keyword targeting, where you can get in front of people that are having, on boards about exact specific discussions. I.e., if you're selling basketballs, just to give a random example here, you could target people who are looking for advice on the best basketball to buy for indoor basketball courts, and get your ad on that page. If people are onto that page, they're likely to be buying a basketball because they wouldn't be reading it or giving a shit about it unless they were referencing that or wanting to buy that. And sometimes they're just on the page because they want to help out, but there's still at least 5, 10, 20% of the people on that page likely to buy a basketball soon, because otherwise they wouldn't have clicked through to get to that thread from Google or what have you. And then therefore that's the opportunity where you can make money with this. So to give you specific information on where you're going to use this to make money, I'll explain. Like I said, I did this for a mailbox company, a lockable mailbox, and how we did it on Reddit, given, this is a new program, and then had success running the ads profitably, and just as profitable as running ads on Google, even on Google search. So to give you an example of each one of these three places or three opportunities on Reddit that you want to advertise, the first of which would be people looking for purchase help. I kind of basically touched on this before, but to give you an example from the individual case study that I've talked about with the locking mailbox, when somebody was asking, hey, does anybody have any information or have tried using a locking mailbox? Stuff like that. We got on all those individual threads, having an ad running there, an image ad, also a conversation ad, and which will make you show up in the answer section, whereas the image ad's more towards the top of the page. And that worked okay. It was the second most profitable thing we did, which normally that's what it's going to be for you, because in that situation, again, some people may certainly be reading that because they also want to buy a locking mailbox. Because ultimately these threads rank on Google a lot. And one of the most popular searches on Google, by the way, is people asking a question and then adding Reddit to the end of their question in the search bar, because they know most of the sites out there are spam, and Reddit has actual user-generated content that's not bullshit that's put out by companies to sell a product. So what will happen is that thread on Reddit that has a thread about somebody asking about how and should I buy a locking mailbox, and do they work, and that kind of thing. It'll rank on the first page of Google when you ask that same question on Google. So then they get to the Reddit thread, and then bang, your ad can be there. So that's the first place that you can advertise that makes money on Reddit now. The second is competitor product reviews. So go ahead and check if you type into Reddit on the search bar and you find there's threads about your competitors there, then you absolutely want to get your ad on those threads. So, and that's actually the most profitable way that we were advertising for the mailbox company, and it should be the most profitable way to advertise for your company as well. Finally, you got answers to questions that your product or service solves. One of the things that the locking mailbox does is it prevents theft of the mail itself. So what we did was we targeted people asking questions about how to prevent mail theft. And so in that situation, as you could kind of put together here, we're further away from somebody actually being certain to make a purchase, and people on that thread would be, as a whole, less likely to be making a purchase of a locking mailbox in the future, but it's still fairly okay. And it was profitable enough for us to keep doing it. Because of the same thing I talked about before, where once that question's answered, it'll rank on Google for how to prevent package theft. And now everybody that gets funneled in from Google is going to be able to see your ad there. And actually, it's better than, you could do similar things and have your ads show up on websites that answer that question, as long as banner ads are shown on those websites through Google Display Network, which we also do as well. But Reddit actually is pretty good because they don't have a lot of spam bot traffic, which I'll get to in a second. But one of the great, so you could even obviously look in your own niche. Ask some questions that people ask that your product or service can fix those problems, and then see on the first page of Google if any Reddit threads show up. Because if they do, you can get in front of those people that are looking to get that question answered. Being at the right time in the right place, you'll get a highly relevant click to your website that will convert at a really high rate as well. So that's what we did there. And like I said, that was the least profitable, but profitable enough with the high margin product that we're selling to make money doing this as well. People looking for an answer to the mail theft problem. So with all this said here, you're going to need to make a special ad for each one of these individual sources of leads or sales in order for it to work properly. That means if for the pages that are, or threads where somebody's asking a question about how to buy a locking mailbox so I don't get screwed over or whatever, your ad should certainly say, trying to consider the best locking mailbox, check our locking mailbox buyer's guide or competitor product test. And then you could send people to a landing page which gives them the exact information they want, and then directly after that content, after they view it, of course, your mailbox there that explains all the stuff that you want to avoid that they saw in the content on that page you're taking them to on your site. Our product don't have that, and it's at a good price. And then so you're basically creating a little funnel. That's what you and then would want to do there. It's similar to like what we did with that client. Secondly, for like the competitor one, I would break it up so I have a separate ad for every competitor. What I like to do is say, considering name of competitor with the name of the competitor obviously there. Check out name of our product. First, we have this, we're 3 times faster for half the price. So therefore, you should consider us before buying that competitor. That's what I like to do in general for competitor ads. If somebody's been to our competitor site, that's what we usually use to get them to our site from banner ads that run across the web. And on Reddit, it's the same thing, basically. So, what we said is we have more capacity before considering competitor X. Check out our product because it has 3 times the capacity which you need to have a good product. And then, also have a different ad type for people that are looking for information how to solve a problem that your product or service solves itself. And in that case, it was number 1 solution to package theft. See the XYZ product, guaranteed a package will never be stolen again from your company or from your house. And then you drive them to your website, or we're just not a landing page on the website, but just our website in general. And then of course in that case they can check out our product itself. I mean, we technically do have a landing page for people that want to buy the product that we send people to there in that case, which we did. But I didn't have a separate page that was only used for Reddit is my main point. But anyway, you get the general idea and gist here of what you have to do for it to be successful. So yes, it's going to take some work, but if you're not a big company, you're looking for immediate ROI, this is the model that's going to work. So you could target specific threads if you want, using the title or part of the title as the keywords targeted as the keyword targeted itself. So basically, if you want to target like one specific Reddit thread or conversation, take the title or part of the title of that Reddit thread and use that as the keyword. That'll make sure effectively the only pages or part of Reddit that match up with your keyword is that one page. So that's how you target individual threads. So you don't have to target individual threads, but if you wanted to have a super tight campaign and you're in a kind of a very big general niche, you might have to do that. So it's just something else to mention there of like tips on how to make this work. You can also obviously, the top question that people ask that buy your product or service is, how do I prevent package theft at my house? If that's the top question, like it kind of was in this space that I was talking about where we did this, you search that on Google, you see that there's Reddit threads that rank. You could take that Reddit thread and the title from that Reddit thread, target it as a keyword, and now all the people that come from Google looking for an answer, you're funneling them back to your website. You see how you can do that? So, with all that said, this is something that you should do using Google Display Network as well. Everything I said here you can do through Google Ads, and then through Google Ads on Google Display Network, which gets you on millions of possible websites outside of Google.com. So you can run like banner ads for people, which any site you basically see banner ads, you can get on through Google Display Network. You do the same thing on Google Display Network to get as many sales from these opportunities that I went through here with as well. People that have been to the competitor site, you can have banner ads show up for them. People that on Google are looking for help on being able to see which product in your product category or service in your service category they should buy, the pages that rank on the first page. Like I said before, when you go to those pages from Google, if they have banner ads showing there, you can have a banner ad showing up on that page exactly using website targeting plus keyword targeting to make sure that you're targeting that one page and that one page alone. You can do that. And of course, the same thing on the first page of Google, for people that are asking questions about how to fix a problem that your product or service solves, you can also target the pages that rank on the first page when the people get there with a banner ad, and do similar ads as I talked about what you would do on Reddit. Reddit, though, like I was talking about before, will have a much better conversion rate on the traffic you get because Google Display Network has a lot of bot traffic. People clicking the ads to try to earn money from the banner ads. People will put up legitimately totally bullshit websites put the ads on there, because if they get clicks on their ads, on the banner ads, then they get half the money basically from the advertiser that wants to advertise on their site through the Google Ads platform. The Google Ads platform is the intermediary between the advertiser and, as they call it, the publisher that has a website with banner ads there listed on it. So, and they'll hire people to click on the ads from, like, India, Philippines, and then they'll scam the advertisers that way. There's a lot of that stuff going on, way more than Google will admit. On Reddit, there's no revenue sharing of the ad program. So Reddit has no problem with people trying to fake click to try to make money. And also Reddit has robust programs to try to identify bot traffic and get rid of it. Whereas on these random websites that you would advertise on, they don't have a way to, weed out all this bot traffic from their site. So if they're not doing it themselves to make money, if other bot traffic is coming to the site, they have little incentive to weed it out, because who cares anyway? So for those two reasons, you're weeding out all that bot traffic and intentional clicks on the ads just for people to generate money. You're not going to have that with Reddit, and so your ads that target these three kind of use cases are going to be very profitable. It's going to convert at a very high rate, and every ad impression you get is going to be in front of real people that are, let's say, fairly likely to convert into a customer. So I would do both. You're just going to have to pay way less for a click through Google Display Network than Reddit. The cost per click on Google Display Network that I usually have to pay to make money from this is like 10-20 cents. And I could get that, by the way, because I write really, really good ads, and they're targeted really, really well, so that the people I get the ads in front of, it's actually what these people want to see. And if you do the same thing, you can get the same thing done there. Whereas on Reddit, you could easily pay $1 a click a lot of times, because it's going to be a real click every time. Or at least 50 cents a click. So anyway, that's Reddit advertising in a nutshell, and what I would do if you want to advertise on Reddit to make some money, or just make some money in general. It's a really good way to make money now that they have this new program out. If you liked the video, I'd appreciate it if you give it a like and consider subscribing, as I have a lot of other content just like this on this channel that'll show you how to make money with your ads. Why am I qualified to give you this information? Because I run an ad agency and I work with about 50 clients at any given time, running their ads on Google and Facebook and Reddit, like I was telling you here today, and so forth. And I offer guaranteed results to our clients. We have to get results for our clients before getting paid at our agency. So the stuff that I learn that works, as well as the stuff that don't work, I share it with you on this channel for free as a way to gain awareness for our agency. And so I'm highly qualified to give this information, whereas most YouTubers just do YouTube. They're not working with clients like I am at my agency. Or, it's somebody who manages 1 or 2 campaigns or 3 campaigns. They don't have the same level of insight I do. I have a team that works directly underneath me to help me leverage my time, and all I do is strategy all day long. So the YouTube information here is the best information you're going to find on YouTube. The same thing with my blog at garrettcppc.com/blog. If you want to really pick up some good information on how to actually make money running ads online for your company. If you just do the stuff that I share on this channel, you'll get rich if you have a decent product or service to sell. If you have any questions about anything I covered today, leave me a comment below. I get back to every single person who leaves me a comment on this channel, usually within a couple days' time. If you're looking to get the best possible results you can, contact my agency. I'd be happy to look at your stuff, give you a strategy plan, and tell you how much results I can provide furthermore for your company and how quickly, and offer a guarantee to get you so far with your results before taking any fees at all. If you're looking to get out of doing ad management for your company, want to hand it over to the true pro, I'd be happy to look over your stuff and see if we can work together. I don't work with all clients. If you have a great product or service, though, it looks like it could really sell, and you want if you want to know if you pair it with the best PPC ad management that you could do online, I'm here and I want to work with you. So, or in other words, if you think that all you need is the ads done right because your product or service will sell or sell well, this is the place you want to come, because I got the best ad strategy that you could find, basically. So, guaranteeppc.com, reach out to me, we could have a chat. Anyway, with that said, I'll wrap it up with that. Hopefully you enjoyed this video, and I hope to see you in my next video where we have another great strategy for you then. See you later.